Oh my goodness, what have I done? These are massive. Welcome home, Red Pack Marcus here, and I did something crazy again. Today I spent over $1,000 on vintage SpongeBob food. Yes, vintage SpongeBob food. You know, food, those things that typically have expiration dates on them. Yeah, this is vintage food. We are going to be covering over 25 years of SpongeBob food history. So for those of you guys that aren't, familiar with this type of thing, if you guys have been here on the show for a while, you're like, oh yeah, that's Marcus. He's something's wrong with him. But if you're new here, think about the stuff that you may have seen growing up, like the Shrek Easy Squirt Ketchup, the SpongeBob cereal, Princess mac and cheese that maybe you had as a child, stuff like that. There's people, strange people like me that have been keeping this stuff around in the state that it was when it released since those days. So while you were, evolving, changing your life, graduating, not graduating, getting married, not getting married, whatever applies, this food was still there, just being not open. And today I have one of the world's biggest collections of that kind of stuff for the SpongeBob SquarePants series. So we are going to be covering over 25 years of SpongeBob food history in this video, and I cannot wait to go through it. I mean, as you can see, this is one of my favorite things in the world. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, so let's start off with the smaller of the boxes. I have already cracked it open, and my goodness, is this going to be a blast from the freaking past, man. So the other two we will do a little bit later here. There is one item in here that is like considered one of the grails of grails. So I cannot wait to get to that. I hope it's in this box, but I cannot wait to see that. Let's go ahead and get started here and start off with a banger. The SpongeBob movie cereal. And listen closely, kids. The cereal is still in there. And that's one of the things I love so much about this food stuff, is that this is like a time capsule. Literally, the food that is in here, the cereal that's in there has still been in this same state while the whole world has changed. There's some level of wholesomeness and residual energy from a bygone era that is left in this box, from the artistry on the packaging, the fun games on the back of the box that you would never see today, considering that every kid while they're eating their cereal is on their cell phone, to the ingredients that weren't really healthy back then but are actually probably, now you know what, actually I think that's probably one of the things that have gotten better. I feel like maybe, no, that's probably still just as bad. Okay, this was never healthy.
It's part of a complete breakfast.
And I just think that's so amazing. This right here is a special one. This is the SpongeBob movie cereal though, so many of you guys probably had this one growing up, which is the SpongeBob cereal. This one though, let me explain. They added something that was going to change the foundation of the world. They added one of the most highly detailed, painstakingly sculpted marshmallows you've ever seen of plankton. Look at him right there. Have you ever seen something with so much detail? Very, very cool. Let's keep it moving. I don't want to spend too long on every single one. I could easily talk about each item here for like 30 minutes. Next up here, we have the Krabby Patty cane. So this right here, you can see, has all of this like interesting packaging you may have not seen, recently for sure. This is the Nick Candy branding. It has this little logo up there. That is the first line of Nickelodeon food product, because at this time, they didn't know that SpongeBob food or the gummy Krabby Patties were gonna take off the way that they did, and now it's like a normal thing you can find at the store. So this was like let's see how this works, kind of a fun little holiday gimmick, and that is all still preserved here in this tube. There's actually another later version here too, a little bit later. This is 2014. You can still see some package differences here in this one too. What I love about this is like feeling these, like it feels like I got like a candy cane of asteroids or like freaking like fishing weights. Like they're just so hard. There's nothing gummy about these anymore. We also have the, oh my, what the scallop? We have these rotted to death SpongeBob Jelly Pops. These are from 2003? Yeah, 2003. I just kind of guessed, but it's on there too. So these right here, I never really liked these as a kid, but some people, they just tasted too sweet. I feel like that, other gummy candies had like a sourness to them, or, some kind of pizzazz to them, These just tasted like just squishy sugar, but a lot of people loved these growing up. And you will see they look a lot darker than they used to. These look like they belong in some like Robot Chicken parody, but the reason why they're like that is because they have something in them called fruit pectin. Doesn't that sound delicious? You know, come on over, let's have some fruit pectin. And that is what you're seeing, is the rotting of that. As you would see an apple or anything, it will turn dark brown or like black over a period of time. And much like many of us, they have rotted from the inside out. That was really dark. Well, so are they, but you get my point. That's why they're like that. Next up here we have, oh gosh, man, that saran wrap has never been working harder. We got some milk chocolate SpongeBob flavored treats. Notice they said flavored treats because, you know, they aren't chocolate. They just taste like chocolate. There's some other stuff that they put in there and then they make it taste like chocolate. But the fact that, I don't know if I should be happy or concerned that they're preserved so well. Like, you know, one of those little Easter chocolate eggs you would find like in your drawer, like, you know, actually rolled somewhere, and you find it like a year later and it's like got like that white coating on it, and you're like, ugh. It's kind of like that look to it, but then it just stayed there. Like, it's like, it didn't get worse. Like, it kind of looks like it's a year old, but it's like 25 years old. Next up here, one thing I love about the older era SpongeBob food is a lot of times it came with like little toys and stuff like that. Like these two here. Actually, I think there's a few more in here that I like. We'll take this one out as well. Oh man, there is some bangers coming up in here, guys. I don't see like the big item I'm looking for the most in here yet, but we will get to it, I'm sure. And any items you guys see that I do have in my collection, they will end up on our Whatnot stream available. Do not eat them, but they will be accessible to other collectors like me. But anything I don't have, I'm keeping. So stuff like this, these old school toys that came with candy. So this is chocolate that comes with a plush. This right here this is Nick Nutrition. This is when Nickelodeon tried to be like healthy. So they had milk chocolate for the degenerates like me that their parents let them eat chocolate. And then for the LA types, my son never eats chocolate. He eats Greek yogurt covered raisins. You know, for those type of people, they had something called Nick Nutrition, which was literally like, yeah, a more healthy option. So it was a yogurt covered raisins, but it still came with a keychain. Because they're like, yeah, I know you're probably sad that your parents made you eat this, but at least you get this freaking keychain. And then this one right here, these crispy chocolate coins that I'm sure have never been crispier. They came with a 10. So I just think that nowadays they don't really do that often. Sometimes they'll do a little tiny fun design with the packaging, but they don't usually come with like a toy like this. And I think that's so much cooler. I actually still have this plush in the collection. You know, flowers, they only last like a week. Chocolate, maybe a day. Maybe, if you're for me, an hour. But a plush, that's forever, you know? And you got a little bit of all of them on that. That's a pretty cool Valentine's Day gift. What else do we have in here? Oh man, we have more candy canes. Let me just get all of these freaking burnt out candy canes out of here. Oh my gosh, okay, I was gonna do the candy canes, but I just spotted this. Oh my goodness, that is so sweet. I actually do not have this in my collection, and that is such a beautiful sight. Look at how great the colors still pop today. My goodness, SpongeBob Sprinkles by Wilted. And these I don't think these ever expire. I think these are like one of those things you can like eat indefinitely because they're just literally sugar and like flour compressed into these shapes. And if you see, they actually have like a SpongeBob shaped one, a Patrick shaped one, and even like bikini bottom flowers. I guess Squidward kind of would have been a little tough to to make into a shape, so I just put the flowers in there. But the packaging on this is so freaking Y2K, like so beautiful. I love that one. That's like one of my new favorites. But these are the candy canes. You can see they are pretty disgusting. All of them are kind of blacked out. Oh my, this freaking Patrick, man, he's like charcoal. He is super darked out, man. But these are all candy canes that also came with those gummy candies as well. But look at this one. This one's like so like, try to do me a favor and try to look past the fact it looks like they got hit by a bomb. Look at the designs themselves and how like well done they were. Like that, like I have trouble believing that a machine did that. It almost looks like they were hand sculpted or made like that. Like they're so beautiful. And I'm sure Frankfurt is glad those aren't really that popular anymore, because I'm sure that was not easy to produce comparatively to like the gummies that you just like put in a freaking assembly line. But a true level of artistry, like look at the one with him with the little ukulele, like that's actually incredible. We also have a box of the SpongeBob movie Cheez-Its, which I do not have this in my collection. And on the back, it has a cutout face for SpongeBob. Sorry, I didn't realize there was just some man back here. This manly version of SpongeBob. That's amazing. And it's also an add ad for some of the other food product on the side here. We also have some newer stuff in here. There's a SpongeBob mac and cheese. These are a little newer too, not as new as like that, but I mean, they have like these SpongeBob lollipop rings. We have some other SpongeBob lollipops that are like shaped like SpongeBob. Some more of the milk chocolate. This is like a Christmas tree style. Make your heart melt, like melted chocolate or crispy chocolate hearts here as well too. A Valentine's Day themed one. Oh, but this is a freaking, these are so hard to find. This, and look at how well, like you look, you can still eat this. This is the SpongeBob Slime Dunk. I don't know if there was a commercial for these. I know there was for the Toon Pops, but they had slime dunks too for other characters. I think there was one for Fairly Odd Parents and also Jimmy Neutron. If we can find any photos or commercials, we'll put it up on screen for you guys. But I'm telling you, these were so freaking good. Like, I remember having this as a kid, and like, they were kind of like the Juicy Drop Pops, you know, effect, where like you had a sucker that's already something good, but then you have these additives that you could add to them and it just intensifies the flavor times like 3. Also kind of like those, I don't know if they still sell these, but those like paintbrush like suckers. They were like a sucker that's like a paintbrush. You put it in like the powder that was in the paint bucket and like brush all those freaking sugars on your tongue. That was the best, man. But this was essentially that, but you were dunking characters in the iconic Nickelodeon slime. They actually brought something similar to this back just for SpongeBob. We'll pop them up on screen. Those were pretty good, but you didn't get the little sugar powder. Like, it was just added so much more fun to the process of eating these. And these are like next to impossible to find. So some of the values you're gonna see popping up on screen will be based off of eBay comps that we can find. But some of these things like this are truly so rare that you never see them come up for sale. And if the right person is looking for it, it may take you a year to sell it, 2 years for the right person like me to come along, but you could sell them for like $50, $100, $200 in some cases. An example I like to throw up is this SpongeBob ice cream container that sells for like $500 every time it comes up, because it's just so hard to find anybody that kept that long. And one of the items that's in this collection, I don't know where it's at, is probably even rarer than that. But let's see here. Oh, another banger. This is the SpongeBob fish food, the official Krusty Krab original recipe fish food. So this has a little Krabby Patty on top of it. And even today, you can find the SpongeBob aquarium ornaments, like for SpongeBob's house, Squidward's. I think I always talk about you never have Patrick's house because you could just make that at home. Just go find a rock outside. But they only had the fish food like when it first came out. I think it's because like if you have to be tied to something, aquarium ornaments are relatively harmless, right? You know, as long as they make them right, you know, nothing's gonna happen to your fish. But if your food, something goes wrong in the food process, or maybe your fish just gets sick, they might blame SpongeBob or like the brand for that what happened, you know? So I feel like food for fish is a little bit more of a tricky thing to do. So maybe that's why they got out of that business. I'm not sure, but you know, it would be cool to see the SpongeBob food come back, the fish food come back. But nonetheless, you could just buy one of these old school bottles and just put new fish food in it. Amazing. Another item you never see come up really. So like you could ask like up to $50 and the right SpongeBob collector like me might pay that because of the fact that you just, when are you gonna see it again? Next up here we have some boxes, which is gonna be very interesting, I'm sure. There's also this in here, which is the box or wrapper for a SpongeBob Lunchable. This is like one of those sweet Lunchables, you know, the one that was like for a dessert. So it has like a SpongeBob cracker in there that you could have dipped in icing. That's pretty awesome, actually. And then we have some packaging here. So this is the SpongeBob Cheez-Its. So this is like the little lunch packs ones. You would like take one every single day for your lunch for school. But if you were like me, as soon as you got home, you would eat like 2 or 3. And then, you know, your mom would be like, why did you do that? I have to go buy more. I'm not getting you those again. We're gonna get you something cheaper because you always eat them not with your lunch. That was me. This right here is pretty like interesting because this is the SpongeBob Cheese Nip, and the cheese nips you do find from time to time, but I can't say I've ever seen this one down here that has a little ad for Aaron Carter on the bottom, which is kind of cool. We also have this. So this is a precursor of one of the very, very rare items that we hope is in here. This is the SpongeBob chocolate bar collection here. So this came with 24 chocolate bars for SpongeBob, but these were really hard to come by. This is like actually an advertisement for it, but I don't think that these were like something you could just go into the store and find. I think that you had to order them online. And another way that a lot of people got them, as well as the Nickelodeon ones that they had, were through fundraisers. So like, you know, back when you were like in elementary school and you had to go to like DC and like your school's like, oh, we're not gonna pay for that even though that's what your tax money you should be going to. You got gotta pay for that, so you gotta go freaking work the streets selling chocolate bars or freaking washing cars. But, you know, or you had to get your basketball team, like, uniform, stuff like that. All these things, these pressures they put on you, you have to sell chocolate bars. I don't know if they still do that today. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But one of the options you could have ordered were Nickelodeon ones and also these Spongebob chocolate bars to have as an option to sell. So making them very difficult. So unless you got them through like one of the online options, if you had got them as like one of those fundraiser situations, the chances of you having kept any of them sealed or even the packaging itself are very, very slim, making them super, super rare, but also super memorable for the people that had them growing up. So very cool ad there. This right here I don't have either. This is a SpongeBob movie advertisement in the Kellogg's S'more cereal. This is also brand new to me and has a sweepstakes too. You could win a trip to the Cayman Islands. I know that they usually always say like including a guest. Sometimes it's only one guest. Like you have two parents, only one can come. But I always like to imagine that it's just like a 11-year-old or like a 9-year-old going to the Cayman Islands by themselves. Will win a 5-day, 4-night, don't think you're getting that extra night, absorbing adventure in Cayman Island with 5 friends and families. 5 friends and their families? Okay, so your friends can bring their families too. Okay, that's good. But 100 people got to win a freaking Video Now color. That's freaking sweet. And also the SpongeBob video game on PC with like a pre-concept design of the box. Because of course now we know what that SpongeBob game looks like, but at that time they weren't even really sure how the game was gonna look. And dude, also this cereal freaking was awesome. I don't even know if they still make this anymore, but man, that cereal was so good. The s'mores, very, very cool. And I think that's actually it for box 1. That was awesome though. That was such a, oh man, such a nostalgic wave. A Cayman Island pop star of a day wave that I did not expect. Oh wait, there's one more thing here. It's like wrapped up. Let's see what this is. Oh my goodness. Another really tough item to find. This is the SpongeBob Dig and Dip. They also made this for Fairly Odd Parents, I think Jimmy Neutron as well. But man, I've actually never seen one where the little like sucker on here was so well preserved. I think mine's like all melted to the bottom actually. So it's tough to find this guy like in this good a shape. And this is the same thing as like I was talking about that paintbrush thing, like very similar to that. That's awesome. Okay, so let me put all this in box 1 and then we'll get into box 2. All right, box number 2, let's do it. And I have no clue what our value's at already. I feel like it's definitely gonna be worth it. Like I said, I think that I will be able to sell all the stuff that I have and be able to make my money back and then keep all of the stuff that I don't have, which is the goal here. That's my goal every single time we do these, is to kind of just make that balance work. Oh, he's got this freaking double boxed here. What is in this one? It makes me worried. Why is it in plastic? Okay, so it's double bagged and in plastic. Like, it makes me think there's something in here that can leak. Oh, there is something kind of wet here. No, hopefully we don't have anything that broke, but I think something may have got damaged because there is definitely something in here that leaked, because I can see it like kind of ripping through on this side. Oh no. I'm glad that they put it in plastic, but at the same time, hopefully the rest of this stuff is okay. Oh yeah, something freaking popped for sure. It was drinks. So this is like drink stuff. Okay, let me get this one. This one seems like the damaged one out of the way here. Okay, so I think that they did a pretty good job of kind of preparing for the worst. So some stuff did get a little bit of liquid on it, but a lot of it did get saved because they packed it so separately. So I'm gonna have to be careful with this one because I don't want to get any of this stuff all over the room. Let me just kind of work this out and then I will get to it with you guys. Okay, we're back. You know what's not fun? Cleaning up 20-year plus juice. I started it and I was like, maybe this could be fun. And then after the smell hit, the level of stickiness hit, I realized, no, that's not something I want to spend my weekend doing. But for the Bob, we will do anything. So I did clean off everything. Everything is okay. All right, there were like 2 things that I were not able to save, but they were relatively unimportant. So let's check out everything. It's a little bit laid out here, so let's just take a look at everything and we'll go through it. Collecting food is not a weak man's game, all right? You gotta be strong, you gotta be tough, you gotta be ready for anything, all right? And also, I will say, that is not by any means Don's fault. That is just mailing. I mean, unfortunately, the post office is very aggressive sometimes, and I think they did the best possible job that they could have, and because of the job that they did, relatively everything was unaffected and was within cleanable state because of how well they packed it. Something got damaged, that's just because the post office sometimes sucks. I mean, freaking, there was one item in there I was super, super excited about, and this thing was completely unfazed, untouched. I'm so glad because the whole outside of it is covered, and that is the SpongeBob Pop-Tarts here. So this is a box of vintage SpongeBob Pop-Tarts that was within the same package with all of that liquid and still somehow survived. So I will keep these rags available, you know, just in case there's any other stickiness that I missed. But thankfully, everything is saved. Thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. This is Buttercup. This is Bubbles. Blossom was the juice. But super happy to have this. I have this in my collection, but not with the Pop-Tart still in it. So this is going in my personal collection. Let's just take a quick look at everything in here. We have another one of those food toy ones I was talking about that came with a toy. This old school SpongeBob fan, jellyfish fan. A couple of these guys here, these SpongeBob. You'll see these figures pretty often, these SpongeBob like candies with the like figure toppers on them. There's a few of these in here. These, like I said, you see them pretty often, but still very cool. One item I have never seen before, and this one makes me super excited. It kind of goes along with those sprinkles. And as you can see, they separately bagged this too, just in case, you know, that's super smart because, you know, something like this could easily wreck the entire package how it had it opened up. That is the icing coloring kit. So it comes with all of these food colorings in here. SpongeBob theme, which is like so weird. Like it doesn't even really have to be SpongeBob themed. If you look inside, they're just regular like containers. They just put it in these SpongeBob branded packaging, and now all of a sudden it's SpongeBob themed food dye. But I mean, really, it's just food coloring. That's so cool though, because this is my first SpongeBob food coloring in the collection. We have a couple of these, the SpongeBob spin tops, and actually looks like this one still has some power left in the battery there. The classic spin pops from 2001, 2002. And one of the items I was super excited about because I've never seen this before, and that is this SpongeBob pineapple candy dispenser. So it's actually SpongeBob pineapple. It has a figure of SpongeBob. You open the door and SpongeBob hands you a treat. So the candy falls from somewhere in the top of the pineapple and actually lands in SpongeBob's hand. And as you open the door, he comes out with a little piece of candy. Like, how amazingly awesome is that? It's so creative, so unique. And I don't think they made a ton of them. I can imagine, again, the manufacturing for this wasn't super easy. So likely that's probably why they didn't keep them around. But on the back, they also have one for rocket power. You can see as well too. So very, very cool. I've never seen this item before and super hyped to add it to my collection. Also have this SpongeBob sticker dispenser with the old school SpongeBob on top there. And then these have seen better days. This is SpongeBob Halloween chocolate. And you can see the chocolates, they were designed to be like, you know, like a vampire SpongeBob. What is that, Gary? Or no, SpongeBob with like a pumpkin on his head. They do not look very great, but the fact that this packaging even exists is truly incredible. And then let's just show the problem children here, okay? Where these problems came from. So that was from the drinks, and I cleaned these up. These are the old school SpongeBob Cool Tops, and I feel like we might have some ads for that are available. This one's really cool because it has a bag clip like on it, and this one's got SpongeBob doing a little like sledding there. This is the more common of the bunch, just a regular SpongeBob here where his body pops open for the drink spout. This one I do not have in my collection. This is awesome SpongeBob playing the guitar, the flying V guitar. A couple other SpongeBob belly washers here. We have like the giggling Bob, the regular Bob. I think I might have two of these in my collection. We have the Patrick as well, and then a very cool one to go with that SpongeBob that actually doesn't have the bag clip on there, but it doesn't even have the attachment, so I guess it never was meant to. We have the Patrick to go with that SpongeBob sledding. And there's also another one of the spin pops here. It looks like this one is dead, but it is the SpongeBob on the anchor here. So yeah, we had to cover that one a little bit fast just because I get everything out to clean it. But yeah, there's a couple little small items here. There's this, you know, color a cookie. There's also these very, very spot on SpongeBob. What are the cake decorations? So that was pretty much it in that bag. Oh my goodness. Actually, there's these too. These are original SpongeBob cookies from the bakery. That is insane that these are somehow still around. If something tells me that he did not have that face when he got put in the box, and now he's just like, bro, I'm gonna die. But he actually survived. You survived, nonchalant Bob. Like, can we just point some freaking credit to like that? Look at the outline of his eyes, like how they actually got his freaking eyes to really look like they're kind of like midway through his old, I don't know how to say that, his eyeball midway through. Like the actual line definitions in that are kind of crazy. There's a Squidward one too, but the Squidward one unfortunately did get a little damaged. I don't know if it was in the packaging or just over time, but he looks like one of those, like, he looks like he could be a profile picture like on Xbox 360, like one of the ones that just comes with the console. There we go. All right, so let's move on to box number 3. So glad that we were able to make that happen. I'm still looking for the SpongeBob chocolate box. Hopefully it's in this last box. Okay, now for the biggest box. Hopefully everything in this one is all right. I think maybe that had all the liquids, so this one should be relatively safe. It's in this big old Walmart box. Let's take a look. Oh yes, this is where the good stuff is. I mean, the other stuff was good stuff, but now you're gonna see some really good stuff. This is crazy. The SpongeBob Ritz sandwich box? Are you joking me? This has to be like the first year. I was gonna say, this is 2000. I was like, this doesn't even look like that looks like an old Ritz box. But if you look at SpongeBob and like his early design there, and especially in this shot here with Eliza, how early that SpongeBob is, this has gotta be one of the first SpongeBob promotional food products ever. This is 2000, so this was only within the first 6 months the show was even out. That's a crazy box. That is actually like a piece of like that's like so historic. That's amazing. We also got some of these gummies. This is some freaking individual packets of the 2004 SpongeBob gummies. I want to tilt the box so we can kind of just like pull things out of here, but I don't want it all to just fall on me. So let me just like slowly do this. Okay, carefully. There's a couple things falling out, so let's be careful. Okay, that kind of works. Dang, they got some protectors on stuff in here too. Okay, so let's take a look here. First up here, we have, oh my gosh, that's so dope. This SpongeBob candy book. So it pops open and it's got all these little like lifesaver style candies in there. But look at the font on that. Like that's definitely a product they made once and like we never saw anything like that again. This is 2009. Oh, and it literally has like a little storybook inside of it. Like there's a little note you can pull out here and there's like a little SpongeBob book. SpongeBob's in a jolly twist, making sure there's nothing he might miss. The stockings are stuffed, the presents are wrapped. The only thing left is to get untrapped. That's so cool. I love that. What is this all wrapped up? Oh my goodness. That is beautiful. That is glorious. Oh my. I see you could have made a Squidward sprinkle. Look, they did it here. I do not have this in my collection, let alone the box. But a brand new sealed box of the SpongeBob movie Rice Krispie treats. So that is one of the few products for the SpongeBob movie that I actually don't have. So this is brand new. Am I tripping, or is it like the text on this is like blurry? Is it like I should put like 3D glasses on? Like why is the text on this so bad? SpongeBob Crunchettes. That's what you call sprinkles. Crunchlets. The image quality on the text is like so broken. I don't know if they made a mistake when they produced these, but I had never seen one this up close before to really get a look at it, but it almost looks like you need 3D glasses. This is crazy. There's a couple more in here. We have the Nick SpongeBob ring pops here. We have a strawberry, lemon, blue. Another lemon one there. We have a stocking, a Christmas stocking with the Nick Candy logo loaded up with original Nick Candy Krabby Patties. We have a box of the fruit snacks. These are relatively modern, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what the year on these are, but probably like 2020, 2023. Now this though, this right here, I've never seen before either. That is a bag, a Nick Candy sized bag of the Valentine's Day lolly cards. So it comes with the card and a lollipop. This is one of those ones you would have brought to school to kind of give to your friends, your crush, you know, whoever at school. But man, this is one of those original bags from back in the day. 2003. Incredible, some of this stuff. Like this is definitely like the most fire box for sure. Okay, so then we have another one of these guys here, the candies. We have a couple more of these like Easter candies too. What's in this wrapper here? Sealed box of the original SpongeBob graham crackers. And this one's in a protector, baby. Dang. Is it sealed in there too? Yes, it is. They use a pop, you know the freaking pop boxes, those like stupid pops that come with like an album in there and stuff? They use that, very smart. But inside of this, oh, it's taped up. I'm not gonna open it up if I don't have to. There is a sealed box of the original SpongeBob Cheez-Its. Very freaking beautiful. That is awesome. And it is like in pristine condition. And like I said, this is in a protector, so I'm just gonna leave that in there. We have the SpongeBob fruit roll-ups. These are relatively new too. Another one of those little stockings, a little smaller one for kids on a budget. We also have another item I've not seen before, and I'm so shocked this is in such good shape. This is the Easter Mix Nickelodeon SpongeBob chocolate. Like, how did you even find this? Like, how did anybody even still have this in their collection? Like, some stuff makes more sense, you know? Like this, you know, I can see it just looks so cool. Maybe somebody might just keep it in their collection. But stuff like this, or like the chocolate, I would have never thought somebody would have kept in its packaging. Then we have a little mini box of the Krabby Patties here, the green label. Now, there's another one I've been looking for years. And that is the SpongeBob bubblegum. That is freaking iconic. Look at this, people. Look at this. The original freaking Bubble Yum bubblegum. This packaging is so freaking brilliant. Like, you can just see that sitting on a shelf like in Walmart, Target back in 2004. That is crazy. It kind of reminds me of the LeBron James bubblegum. Ryan will pop it up on screen. It's like a lemon flavor. What flavor is this? Pineapple, of course. And this is for Nickelodeon Takes Over Your School. Free t-shirt offering. Man, I wonder what that t-shirt looks like. We'll try to pop it up if we can find one. This is amazing. So this is an item I have been looking for years and never pops up. So this is another one of those items, like, you could charge $50 and somebody will pay that. But you could charge like $300, and the right person, you can name your price, because who has it? And that is one of the ones that's staying in my personal collection now. Value aside, that's staying in my collection. Amazing. We have a couple little minis here, some little Easter eggs here, nothing crazy. We have some, like, you know, Nick Candy sour balls here, some of the old Nick Candy's jelly beans. These are really cool. They came usually like in like Easter baskets, stuff like that. They weren't like independent products you could pick up. So they're cool, but they're more likely preserved in situations like that rather than, like, you know, the bubble gum that's like, who had this? Now, this is another item that I've literally never seen anybody else with other than Don himself. And now I have two of them in my collection. This is the original big bag, the SpongeBob Krabby Patties. So this is like the big original bag with the Nick Candy logo on there. This is where it all freaking started. This iconic SpongeBob candy, the gummy Krabby Patties. There are people that eat those gummies just because they like them, not even because they like SpongeBob. That's how big this candy became. And this bag right here was like your premium offering for that product when it first came out. Amazing to have this. You got Mr. Krabs in the back there. This is another example of a piece in time that has literally kind of been frozen within the packaging that is this item. So this is one of those items I personally think you could easily ask up to like $500 for. And if the person who wants it bad enough, I think it's within that range. That's how uncommon it is to find this big bag. So incredible piece. Another bag, a box right here of the SpongeBob. I think this is a like yellow label area, 2006. This is the SpongeBob fruit snacks. Kind of boring packaging, huh? It's like just literally his face. Like, I guess it's like, what a nice cereal box. Like, he is square, you know, that just put his face on it, and that, you know, it's kind of branding itself, you know, I guess, but a little bit lame comparatively to some of the later versions or the earlier versions. But yeah, I'm glad just to have it in the collection. Iconic as well. I feel like this box is bigger than the box that I have. This is the SpongeBob Ocean Blue mac and cheese, where you could literally turn your mac and cheese blue so you can eat it on up. Chemicals. It's like the strangest idea. But, you know, I don't think you don't see mac and cheese in different colors very often anymore. Just red for the Hot Cheetos one. I think they realized that was a, you know, it was like the Easy Squirts ketchup. It was a thing of its time. But I do not have, I swear, I feel like this box is a little bit bigger than the one that I have. So that's new. We also have a big bag of these SpongeBob graham crackers here, animal crackers. Unfortunately, this got a little crushed, but I don't have this one in my collection either. This is the 2008 SpongeBob mac and cheese. And mac and cheese is one of those things too that surprisingly holds up pretty well. This is, well, a brand new sealed in a protector SpongeBob cheese nips. I'm telling you guys, like, I think just this box itself was worth $1,000, and Don knew that very well when he gave me the deal. I sold him a bunch of Rocket Power production art, and I kept a lot of it too, and a lot of it I'll still be letting go of on my Whatnot stream. Actually, we're having a celebratory production art show on Whatnot, so if you're into Rugrats, Rocket Power, Wild Thornberries, Disney stuff, Cartoon Network. I have so much original production art that I cannot keep in my collection just because I have to be able to make some money back from the money I spent to keep what I did keep. So we'll be having a huge sale coming up very, very soon, and it is going to be an animation production show. I don't want you guys to miss it, so that'll be probably put in other videos as well too, but I sold him some of that stuff for what I paid for it. So the deal he gave me on this, you know, he knew was a really good deal, and I didn't fight him on it at all. So thank you so much, Don. Appreciate it so very much. But yes, I also feel like my box does not have like a side version like this. Like I think there's like small variations that they released that you just, unless like maybe like this one came out 6 months earlier or later than the box that I have. So I don't think mine has this like side version of it. I think it's like a completely different thing on the back, like a game or something. So it's cool to see these different versions of the products that I didn't even know existed. Okay, so interrupting the video here because I actually did get the super rare item I was looking for, but I was being a barnacle head, if you will, and it was wrapped up in paper and I didn't see it until after I finished the video and I was cleaning up. Thank goodness I saw it, but here it is. This right here is the Spongebob chocolate bars. So it comes with this awesome case here. You guys will see some close-up shots. You can see all the different types of chocolates there: milk chocolate, crispy rice, almond, caramel, and better than that, it's actually got several of the chocolate bars still inside of it. There's actually more than one of each of the different designs in here. You have a Squidward one, the SpongeBob Patrick, SpongeBob, and then the whole crew shot here. So you get all the different flavors in there. And I think I mentioned it earlier in this video, but sometimes just the wrappers of these chocolate bars can sell for like 30, 40 bucks, and the chocolate bars alone can sell sometimes between 50 to $60. So it's like filled up with them. Like just this box alone, if you have it complete with every single chocolate bar in there like that, is probably like $1,000 itself if you were to piece it all out. I'm saying $50 each, the 24 bars. That's like $2,000 actually. It's actually even more than that. So, you know, I think 1,000 is like not unreasonable if you were to sell the chocolate bars individually. In my mind, I feel like it would be hard to find 24 people that are interested in this.
I'd like to buy all your chocolate.
But I feel like SpongeBob's gotten so popular over the last few years, it might not be as hard as I think. But this is a grail of a grail. I am so glad to finally have this in my collection. I am probably going to shrink wrap the chocolate bars so that way they stay like, you know, perfectly in this shape. At least a set of 4 of them, so that way they are all preserved in that form. I've shrink wrapped a couple other chocolate bars in the past and they've held up very well like that. So I think that's gonna be the method I go for with these as well too. You got a couple here in the plastic as well, just amazing. So super happy to have this in the collection. It's like a very odd item, and you know, who knows how many of these are even out there left. So super glad that we could preserve one here in the archive. We also have the newer SpongeBob cereal. This one, you know, is surprisingly still kind of hard to find, but I mean, you know, it's relatively new, so it's a little bit easier. We have a box of the OG SpongeBob mac and cheese. We have a still brand new, I don't even know where you found this little container for. That's like fits a Wonder Ball perfectly, but yeah, it's a brand new, still in the package, SpongeBob Wonder Ball. So I'm very specific with how I preserve my food related products. So I usually shrink wrap everything because it helps keep the package like in its original. Like sometimes, you know, gases, things happen and they can start to inflate. So I think that kind of helps restrain it. I usually poke a tiny couple holes in the plastic so that way air can release, but the plastic kind of helps keep its form. But this works really well for that too. Like, you know, the fact that it's square, like it can only really get so messed up in here. So very, very cool. If you guys don't remember Wonder Balls, man, I feel like they maybe still have them. Yeah, they still do, but now that like it comes like a coin or something, right? Like the Mario coin. But man, these things were brand new. Like I remember when these came out. So cool. Who made these anyway? Who was the company that produced this? Frankfurt, man. Frankfurt did everything cool with candy. Next up here we have a SpongeBob milk chocolate egg. This right here is a completely full SpongeBob Easter basket. So this is like I was talking about the SpongeBob jelly beans and stuff like that. You could get that stuff inside of this container. So this is the I didn't even know where this trash can came from. I use this trash can every day. This is the trash can. Also doubles as the Easter basket. It comes with that Easter SpongeBob and a few different candies in there too. That is amazing. So it's still preserved, the complete thing right here. Okay, right here is a individual. I have the full package of this. I've never seen them out of the package. This will definitely go on my SpongeBob movie shelf. This is a individual SpongeBob movie Airhead. We also have the newer mac and cheese here. And then 2 of the rarer versions of the SpongeBob cereal. So we talked earlier about this SpongeBob cereal, the original first ever SpongeBob cereal. So they made this one, then they made the SpongeBob movie cereal, and then after that, they released these, the episodic ones, and I actually have the full set back here in the collection. These are the episodic boxes here that are based around the absorbing favorites, and so this one's based off of Karate Choppers, this one's based off of Jellyfish Hunters, and these were released for a very short time, like possibly less than 7 months. Like they were up and they went down. That was it. They only came out for that little bit of a promotional period, and then that was pretty much it. So these by far are the hardest ones to find, especially if you're looking for a specific cover of all the SpongeBob cereals. So very cool to have 2 of these. And again, stuff like this that I already have in the collection, like this freaking, these will be staying in my collection, but stuff like this, these will be available on my Whatnot show for collectors. And again, I always, usually we always start our stuff off at like very reasonable prices, so come check it out. You could possibly end up getting, I'm gonna check out my boxes, make sure I end up with like, the best preserved versions of them, and then whatever I have extra, whatever's doubles, I don't need more than one of. I can use that money to get stuff that I don't have in the collection, and somebody else can get something historic in their collection. So you'll be able to find those cereals likely over on our Whatnot show, as well as this original cereal here. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna steal this protector. That protector's amazing. But that is it. My goodness, what an amazing unboxing. You guys just saw different people for 25 years collecting and preserving SpongeBob food merchandise history, all culminating into one collection. So Don, like me, has been picking this stuff up from different people online. Maybe somebody kept a random box of SpongeBob cheese nips. Maybe somebody else happened to flatten out a box of Ritz and keep it in their pantry somewhere. All these people did independent things, and Don slowly accumulated all of those things to make one museum level haul that you see here. And now we are intaking this and processing everything as new and adding it to our collection, which I really, the more and more we develop, I think is just, without trying to stay modest, I think we have really started to gather one of the greatest SpongeBob collections, if not the greatest SpongeBob collections ever. Like truly preserving and encapsulating the entire history of SpongeBob merchandise, which in my opinion, SpongeBob is the modern day Mickey Mouse. It is a culture in itself. It is a language in itself. And I think that history deserves to be preserved as much as anything else. So that all of these pieces that I don't have in the collection are valued so very much, and I'm so happy to add them to the collection, and I'm super grateful for the opportunity that Don gave me in picking this up. So big shout out to Don. Shout out to all of you beautiful people for watching this video. Let me know, what of these items was the one that you remember the most from your childhood? Was it the SpongeBob Airheads, the Rice Krispie Treats, the Cheez-Its? For me, I think it'll always be the cereal or the Pop-Tarts, or maybe the waffles. There's a few of them, but the waffles weren't in today, but I have the waffles too. There was some stuff in here that I'd never seen before, and that's saying something. So very cool. You guys let me know what was your favorite item and which one you remember the most. If you guys want to support this show further in this project of being able to pick stuff up like this and add it to the collection and preserve it, go check out our Patreon, or also check out our Whatnot stream. Both of those are linked down below. And also on Patreon right now, we are giving away the silver play button for YouTube. I'll be giving that away next month. So if you guys aren't already, go sign up. You can still get in for it. You can sign up for as little as $2 a month, and you get to help this show and have a chance at winning a freaking play button. As well as we do live streams at the flea market. We do a ton of fun stuff over there, so come check it out. We have early release, ad-free videos, extended versions of the videos. I mean, there's a lot, so go check it out. But on that note, you know the drill. Scan it. Alright, beautiful people, I'll see you guys in this video over here that I know you're gonna love. And as always, beautiful people, I'll see you in the next one. Adios and bloop!